Hello, hello, how you doing? Some more thoughts for you. You know how, you know how I do. I share thoughts, and my thoughts, you know, most part, cause you to think. Okay, right now, hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the bell so you can get notification when I drop these. I just want to say something right quick about doing the same about insanity and doing the same thing expecting something to change. We've been told by the elders on many, many occasions that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but you want something, want the results to be different. You want something to change. Your head hurt. Okay, your head is hurting. At the same time, you punching yourself in the head, and you want your head to stop hurting, but you don't understand. In order to stop your head from hurting, you have to stop punching yourself in the head. So if you continue to punch yourself in the head, but you want your head to stop hurting, you're insane. Because you keep doing the same thing, expecting something to change, no matter how bad you want your head to stop hurting, it's not going to stop hurting until you stop doing the same thing that's causing it to hurt. Do you understand? Concerning our people, the ones they call black people in America, and remember, I got to do that video on black has no standing at law. So you'll know why I don't like saying black people. I would prefer Nubian, even melanated people. That's better than, you know what I'm saying, black, because melanin is that special element that only we have that cause our skin to be the beautiful color that it is, melanin. So Nubian people or melanin, I could go with that better than black. But anyway, the point about what I'm sharing this thought is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting something to change. That's the definition of insanity. And why do I even take my time to put these videos up and say something? And it's because I do like my people. Damn. I mean, you know, seriously, now y'all all we got. Y'all all I got. And most of y'all don't even know. I got 139 subscribers on this YouTube. And you know how happy I am with the 139? And I see other people got millions and they making big money. You know, I go and check some of those. Whoo, I said, man, and I just sit there and look at their numbers and saying, wow, what would it be like to be able to pop open this internet and do something from the comfort of your home and have that much money coming to you? Whereas you don't have to be out here like me. You see this traffic. Y'all see these videos I do, damn near everyone, I'm in traffic, driving around Israel. You know, wake up at 5 in the morning when the clock go off, the clock say, get your ass up, you know. And I gotta go because I haven't been smart enough to think of something like you all on the daggone internet. I mean, I'm studying, I'm looking at things, you know, giving it a shot. And just have to keep going. Yeah, the YouTube is cool. You know, you can say what you can say inside their boundaries. But anyway, I was just thinking that you punching yourself in the head and you want your head to stop hurting. You have to stop doing the same thing that's actually causing your head to hurt. And so for us as a people, we always say the same thing. And I believe that most of those brothers and sisters are really just afraid. They just scared. And they really scared of the white man. Ooh. Now everybody like, uh-oh, what Nubian King finna talk about now? The reason why I say that is because you all have not went outside the box and even tried something, you know, what they call It's a word they use called different. It's unorthodox. Okay, unorthodox is that something that, just completely out the box and different. What have you done? Every time something come up, a brother gets shot, sister gets shot, somebody get harassed, what do we talk about? It's time to have the conversation. We got to stay prayed up. Got to keep your head on a swivel. Got to vote. You see, that's why we need to vote and get these politicians in that's going to do something for black people. We're going to have a protest, do some marching. We're going to get the bullhorn and go out here and holler and scream, do some begging. And why is this things keep happening to us that's happening to us? Because we keep doing the same thing, expecting something to change. Yeah. Everybody else rolling right along. They getting their money, their paper, doing what they do, and moving on. And my people, especially in America, haven't figured it out yet. Too many of my people. You got some brothers and sisters that they done clicked in, they see what it is. Wow. And so they really considering getting on up out of there. And thousands have already left the confines of America, modern day Babylon, the land of our captivity. Thousands. Y'all don't even know about that. The majority of them is all across Africa, living and laughing and loving and doing what they do, living as beautiful, delicious people. But what about those brothers and sisters that are still there, that, they are afraid? Now understand this. I know that when that heathen rolled up in that land, there were already 59 million beautiful, delicious, luscious, melanated people there, called Native American. Okay? And Christopher Columbus and his crony murdered them all. That's what they did. And they don't want you to talk about it. They want to bury that. But the thing about it, what's the use of burying it when you keep doing shit? You follow what I'm saying? Think about that. They don't want you to teach that part of America's history, how they murdered and killed and slaughtered people. They don't want you to talk about slavery. They don't want you to teach all of the hellified things they done around the world, the wars they started based on lies, all the wicked stuff they've done. All right, they don't want you to teach that, but they keep doing shit. It's like you can't even talk about America in a real positive light because they just always doing shit. It's like right now with the Ukraine thing. You know how bad they've been suppressing the truth coming up out of there? It's the damn Ukrainian people, the civilian telling people, hey, them is not Russian shooting and bombing us, them Ukrainian soldiers, Azov battalion and all that, lying and telling people. Then the president run around begging for more money. Nigga, you just got $40 billion from America. The hell you need more money for? But they don't want us to talk about the dirty things they done because it makes them uncomfortable. You know what? The hell with you. You did it. Just like they say, hell, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Damn it, you guilty of all this shit. And you don't want anybody to say nothing about it. What you want us to do? Talk about how great thou art? Nigga, man, please. Talking about how great they are. What you want us to talk about? When it comes to America, what you want us to say? Y'all fought a war to end slavery? Get the fuck. You know what I'm saying? You see how they do? They remind me of Jews. Like, when the Jews tell you the story, the shit already underway. They don't tell you what started this shit. And that's same with America. They want to say, oh, well, but y'all always putting up the race card. We fought a war to end slavery. Nigga, you starting at the end of the thing. Let's go back to the beginning and look at how slavery started. See, they don't want you to do that. But, again, my people keep doing the same thing over and over again. keep getting shot, keep crying, one shooting behind another, ta 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 ta. You know, won't carry no gun, won't man up, won't defend yourself, scared. But you know what? Look, let me stop. I don't want to sound like I'm browbeating you. I don't want to sound like, you know, I'm scolding my people. No, because I know what your situation is. You're afraid. You're afraid. And when I say things about leaving America, you have 1 million excellent reasons why you shouldn't leave. Then you start talking about, I'm not from Africa, I'm from here, whatever. Whatever. Okay, but just don't listen to this brother talking about leaving America. And the reason why you do that is because you're afraid. That white man done worked a piece on your mind so tough that you are scared to leave a bandit that's beating your ass and getting away with it. And all you do is sit up and talk about it. That's all I hear y'all do. All across social media, you just sit up and talk about what happened. Damn it, we know what happened. Don't nobody come forth with no solutions. I told you that you living in the wild, wild west. You're living in Babylon. I told you you're living in a damn war zone and you still ain't got no gun. Cause you know, oh, I don't like guns. I'd rather pray, you know, Jesus. You know what? Okay. I told you, ain't no Jesus and ain't no police gonna come fast enough to catch that bullet when that joker pull the trigger at you. Once he pull that trigger and that powder explode in that shell and that bullet run out that barrel, it is no Jesus, no police, nobody, nothing gonna come fast enough to stop that bullet from getting up in you. If you happen to not get hit or get away or don't get bad and you can pull your stuff out, you can retaliate right there on the spot. You can deal with it. But now you don't want to get no gun because you know you holier than thou and you're not going to let evil win. Damn it, the dude that killed your mama and you talking about you're not going to let evil win. What's going on? I mean, you know the he that killed your mother. And you get on national TV and say, we're not going to allow evil to win. We forgive him. What kind of bullshit? You know, I don't know no other race of people on this planet that would do some stuff like that. Nobody. Killing your family and you talking about you forgive them. Only thing them Negroes did was gave the next white man permission to do it again. Because he'd say, okay, look at this. They ain't even doing that. I just killed a dude, mama. He ain't did nothing. Talking about he forgive him. As if you saying something really unique. Man, I be damned. You know what the problem is? See, you all living in America are fluoridated, chemtrails, chemicalized to the point where your brain ain't even functioning like that. I had to tell you, because you don't even know. You see I'm over here in Israel? Look at this. Look at that. Look at all that beautiful, lush farmland out there. You know how much of it is organic? You know Israel is like, they said Israel have more vegans and vegetarian per capita than any country in the world. They're more concerned about their health and diet and food. I know the girl that owned the vegan farm. I go over there, I know her, I know her mother, her father, her sister, and the little children. And all of them be out there on that serious food trip looking for something, you know what I'm saying, the best. And ain't nobody trying to deal with no daggone fluoride water. This city that I live in called Ashkelon, Ashkelon is known to have some of the best drinking water in the country. Yeah. So that means that my mind is real sharp, actively firing and thinking and seeing and hearing. And I'm like, damn, what they say? But then my people sitting there and watching other family members get shot to death and ain't nobody doing nothing. I mean, these people still walking around. You know what happened to the training that we got in the military about stealth mode, operating in stealth, like don't nobody know it's you, and folks started disappearing. You know, what happened with that? I told you I watched the movie the other night where these cops was trying to get this, you know, gangster and come to find out it was a rich woman behind everything. and she was paying so many cops and so many people was corrupt because she paid them so much money, they just couldn't get her. I mean, all the way up to the judges. I mean, she had jokers on her payroll from the court all the way down to the street, and they could not get her because anybody that would have fingered her wound up dead. And then because these two detectives was pure, they was honest, they was working in a precinct full of other cops that was on her payroll. They, and only they, was only 2 cops in the whole precinct that wasn't dirty. And so they began to realize it. It was 3 of them: a Hispanic guy, American white dude, and American white woman. And as they was working the case, they was like, man, what the heck smoke is going on? Evidence is disappearing, and jokers is disappearing, and man. And so in the end, when the case finally went to court, they threw it out, mistrial, some dumb stuff. And those detectives were just, I mean, they were just tore up from the floor. They just sitting there like it was no hope, hopeless. And they had the evidence, they had the person, but got to the court, boom, mistrial, simple stuff. And out the door, the bandit goes, laughing at them, winking his eye, laughing at them. I know that I felt bad for him. It was just a damn movie. I felt bad. But in my mind, I said to myself, the only way truly that you can deal with something like that, you got to take that damn heifer out. That's just it. Because she got the whole court system on her payroll. And they loving that money because they're making their families nice lives and everything. They're not going to do nothing to her. Only solution, you got to get her. So the Hispanic guy that they wouldn't let in the courtroom because they was hella racist, they said he can't come in. Like, why not? He's the detective on the case. Just cause I said it, he can't come in. And so the dude, he told him, why you ain't gonna let me in? He said, cause I don't want to. Based on what? I'm a detective on the case. I got up here to present the case. He said, you're not coming in here. So anyway, that guy was cool. He didn't get upset. He just looked at the dude and turned around and walked off. And you didn't see him no more for the rest of the movie. And then I thought to myself, Shazam, what happened to the Hispanic brother? I don't know. So the next scene you saw him, he was in the precinct at the desk across from the other guy, and the 2 dudes were sitting there, and the girl came over, and they got to talking about, you know, what they saw and da-da-da-da-da and all this, and this whatever. And so the next scene, you know, it was in court. They wouldn't let that Hispanic guy in. They went through the trial, yada, 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 and then at the end, the judge, boom, mistrial over some bullshit that wasn't nothing. Caught everybody off guard, and they was like sitting there with their mouth open, threw the case out of court. Oh, wow. So anyway, the last scene, you saw that heifer sitting there in a beautiful, luxurious mansion by herself. And see, that's the thing, you know, she moneyed up by herself. You know, see, she done went above men. She ain't got no man. Well, I guess with that kind of money, if she needs somebody to slide, you know, she just pay some dude come in, you know, and have him check for STDs, make sure he clean, and pay him. He get up there and slide and then get on about his business. So she cool by herself with her money. But she, you know, at that point, she had won. She done beat everybody. Beat everybody. Sitting in her house, just passing out money. She told one dude, I'll give you $1 million if you do it. He like, what? Her doctor. She wanted some kind of pill that the doctor didn't want to give her because his license and practitioner, da-da-da-da, and all this, he could this and he could. She said, I'll give you $1 million cash if you give them to me. He looked at her, he said, really? She said, yeah, transfer it right now. She transferred $1 million, he saw the $1 million in his account, he reached in his bag, here you go. Corrupt, you know what I'm saying? So who was gonna go against that? $1 million for a bottle of pills? That dude forgot about his career, the license, the practice, everything. Took that $1 million, gave her the pill, was out the door. So how you gonna beat that? That's the same situation going on today. That's why these jokers are still, I mean, what? You got people that'll take that money and wipe your butt out. So the question is, if you know somebody trying to kill you, why you allowing them to still walk the earth? And you know exactly who they are. So what happened in the end? Everything over with. people sitting there wiped out. The detectives, they just don't have a clue. They done. Being transferred and going different places, whatever. And they just finished, man. It's like they just so heartbroken that, they have for, she was able to get away. So they show her sitting there sipping on a big glass of wine, in her beautiful place. And, her leg crossed. She looking all, victorious. And then all of a sudden, somebody dressed in all black pops up from behind her. She was sitting in her chair and puts a knife on her neck and cut her from ear to ear. I thought the head was gonna fall off. Woo! I mean, I said to myself, well, there you go, justice did come. And so word got out that she was dead. Man, there was so many cops started retiring and going to other precincts and jumping out of there because they knew they both were dirty. They was wrong. But that's what stopped it. When whoever it was, initially you didn't see because they had this suit on, looked like a ninja suit, face covered up and everything, popped out this blade and cut her from ear to ear, deep in her neck. I said, damn, whoever did that was mad with her. Woo, look at that. And then when she laid back in the chair and stopped, and she gone, right? Dude slid his head covering off, and there was a Hispanic dude that you didn't see no more. I be damned. There you go. So it's like if you're in a war and your enemies are trying to kill you, and they are killing you, by any means, whatever means they devise, whatever they come up with, whether it's something medical, something physical, something food to starve you to death, they are doing it. Okay? So you sit up and you look at the people and you see what they're doing and you don't do nothing about it. You don't do nothing to stop them. You hear what I'm saying? You all know what I'm talking about. You do know what I'm talking about. These men and some women planning to screw up your lives, they are doing it. You see that stuff not on the shelves in your grocery store, but why is it that you're not raising hell about it? You see that president sent $40 billion, more than 40 billion, because remember they sent $3 billion already, whole bunch of military equipment and da-da-da-da-da, sent that money out the country. Now he's over there talking smack to China. If China attacked Taiwan, the U.S. gonna attack China military force. Let me say this to you. Y'all know what they're doing? They're trying to establish that one world government, and Russia and China is not on board with them. They want to go over there and destroy those two nations. If nothing else, the leadership. You know what I'm saying? Because the leaders are the one that got everybody polarized to do that. The Chinese, if they get over there, get the boogieing with the Chinese, it's going to be a mess because America already done sent a lot of equipment over there to Ukraine. They got a lot of resource tied up over there. And then you talking about bumping with China. China got over 1 billion people. You know what I'm saying? They boasted they can field a military of 1 billion soldiers. You know what I'm saying? So America is selling a lot of wolf tickets, man, to some real powerful nations that personally I feel if America get to thumping with Russia or China, that's going to be a wrap. That's going to be a wrap. You know what I'm saying? And so in between all of that noise that these heathens is laying out, what are melanated people doing? What do you see my people doing? Somewhere shaking their ass, acting a damn fool at a club, raising up a glass, talking about this girl on fire. That's what they doing. Hey, girl, you better shut up. Talking about this girl's on fire. You know what I'm saying? So you got to stop hitting yourself in the head if you want your head to stop hurting. You've got to stop doing the same things that haven't worked for us. I told you before, I'm 60. I was back there with Martin Luther King. I remember all those brothers, Andrew Young, Maynard Jackson, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, You understand? All those brothers, Moms Mabley, activists. Y'all probably don't know her, but that's old school right there, Moms Mabley over in Atlanta, Georgia, way back in the day, 60s and 70s. But, we did the marching, we did the protesting, we did all that. You all can see that historical footage on, the YouTube about the march in the 60s, the riot, what does it say, the Edmund Peterson Bridge, all of that history is there. And so it shows that we've done that. The great sister Rosa Parks, not getting up off that front seat in the bus during the 60s, so we've done all that. And then to look and see that we still experiencing these atrocities from these white people is a shame, man. It's like, okay, so what did we accomplish when we did all those things? Well, number one, we did not accomplish changing the bandit mindset, the way he think about us. See, this heathen has a particular mindset that he have when he think about us. We didn't change it. We didn't change that. Marching in the street don't change it. Begging and protesting don't change it. This heathen is an incredible, diabolical, evil beast. Okay, and so it's like when I see black women talking about they gonna pray for a guy and bring him to Jesus and all that, you telling me you now interested in making the devil an angel? That's what you saying? You gonna pray for this bandit to just kill your cousin? Again, y'all vibing off that religion that he gave you. We called it the slave doctrine, the slave Bible, the slave religion, because it's nowhere in hell you're gonna tell me that another race of people with they thinking in their right mind gonna allow somebody to wipe out their family members and they don't do nothing to retaliate it. That would start a war. They will fight you until nothing is left. But here it is, my people sit around and see this shit happen every day, and don't nobody mount up and go do nothing. Because they're scared. God damn it, what the brothers say, I would rather fight on my feet. I'd rather die on my feet fighting for the cause than to live on my knees. You know what I'm saying? And so, your family members is not enough for you to get busy. I mean, you know what? Then the pendulum swing your way and somebody in your family gets shot dead by some crazy heathen, and then right off the rip they get to talking about mental problems because they're gonna slide his ass out the back door because, like I said, out of sight, out of mind. So the last heathen did that. The 3 shootings ago, where's that boy at that did the shooting? You don't know, do you? Because you ain't heard nothing about it. Kyle Rittenhouse, dude, up there, where's he at? You don't know, because you ain't heard nothing about him. Why? Because out of sight, out of mind. They keep you spinning on bullshit that you don't have time to think about the dude that shot the 9 people in the church. You see how he do that to you? Keeps you spun up on bullshit. Then attacking your ability to think through the medium of food. Go into Whole Foods and see all that stuff and look for this one item, hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated oil. Look for this oil called canola oil. Let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all something. Canola oil. They're telling you that canola oil is just as good or even better than olive oil. God damn. I got to cuss on that. I got to cuss on that. I don't like to cuss. I like to keep it, where your grandmother can listen to me. But I got to say this. God, they telling you that canola oil is just as good or better, healthier as olive oil. Whoo, let me tell you something. See, that's why it's good to have a friend like me that knows stuff, that don't mind telling you. Let me tell y'all something. Let me take you back to the year 1978, Charles Harper High School, Atlanta, Georgia. The address in 1978, it was 3399 Collier Drive, Southwest Atlanta, Georgia. C.L. Harper High School, Charles Lincoln Harper High. In 1978, I was in the junior year. Yep, I graduated in 79. I was in the junior year, and I took an automotive course. And, you know, all that was just for nothing, really, because my father taught me about cars when I was 7 years old. It was just something easy. No, it wasn't. It was my senior year in 1979. Because at the same time, I took the automotive course, I took the home ec course, the foods course, and the sewing. See, I learned all those things from my house. My mother taught me how to cook real good. My father taught me cars. My aunt, she owned one of the largest seamstress shops in Atlanta, Georgia back in the day. I learned how to sew with her. So I took those courses just because I already knew all that stuff. And it was easy. But in that automotive course, this is what I want to tell y'all about that canola oil. You got to hear this now. And if you don't know, you're going to know now if you tell your people this damn canola oil. See, all this here is a part of how they controlling your mind by being able to do shit in front of your face that's not good, and you don't say nothing about it because half your brain is asleep. You zombify, you mummify. Half your head ain't working. You wake up, you got enough brain power going. You get up in the morning, wash your face, brush your teeth, get a little something to eat, whatever, and hit the road, go to work, do your job, go back home. That's all you need, that kind of brain power. That's all they left you with. But the rest, they done shut it down by giving you food items and chemicals that they know they specifically designed to reduce the brain function. So you don't be live and conscious and see what the hell they doing and raise up on them. So you walk around sleepwalking. Then the chemtrails, those jets, I've never seen nothing like that in Israel. So what made me notice the chemtrails is that I never see them in Israel. Look at the sky up there. Look at that sky. I have never in 40 years being in this land seen no damn jets flying back and forth across the sky, leaving long white trails of shit floating in the sky. So that's why I can see and hear stuff and then bounce it back to you and hope you can catch on to it. But anyway, the canola oil. In 1978-79, I was studying auto mechanics in Atlanta, Georgia, in C.L. Harper High School. I took the course just because I already knew cars. It was easy. But remember that in school they teach you about everything. It's like I went to DeVry Institute of Technology once I got out. Okay, so school teaches you everything. If you learn how to fix cars in school, they teach you about the tools and how to use the tool and all the details about tools. So now we in the automotive course, and we learning this particular section about lubricants. This class section course, module was lubricant. It talked about motor oil lubricants, talked about transmission fluid lubricant. It talked about metal lubricants. It talked about viscosity, the difference between 40 weight, 30 weight, talking about temperatures, talked about molecules, every single thing about the lubricant. Because you're in school now, you're learning everything. Why they use transmission fluid in transmission and not motor oil? Can you use motor oil in transmission? Nope. Can you use transmission fluid in the motor oil? Nope. Viscosity lubricant, what it's designed for. All right. One lubricant, y'all got to hear this. One lubricant that they taught us about was canola oil. Y'all got to hear this. If you ain't paying attention, stop, be quiet, and listen to this. Because you using it now. They taught us about a lubricant back in the day in 1978-79 called canola oil. And this is what they told us. Canola oil was an oil that was manufactured out of Canada back in those days. They probably making them in America, I'm pretty sure, because they selling so many billions of gallons of it. So canola oil back then was manufactured in Canada. It was made from a seed called rape seed, rape, R-A-P, it's like you rape a woman. And for me, it's like I don't want to be eating nothing associated with such a dastardly act, an evil act of raping a woman. But that was the seed. The seed called rape seed, number one, it's a genetically modified seed. It ain't even real. Okay, so they genetically modified a rape seed, then they alter it to cause it to produce a large quantity of oil, much more than the normal seed would. All right? So here you start out with a genetically modified seed that ain't even real. Excuse me, a GMO, genetically modified organism. It started out GMO. All right, genetically modified organism. Then they modified that genetically modified organism to cause it to yield more oil. So what you're starting out with is something that is absolutely no way, shape, form, or fashion good for you. Starting from a genetically modified organism that was modified to give a lot of oil, and the oil is not pure and it's all chemical, it's not good for you. That's how they start making the canola oil from the rapeseed. Now, once they get the seed, they use one chemical to cause the seed to release the oil. You know, it's some way it causes it to open up and then the oil come. All right. And what happened, that process, it creates a terrible odor. Because remember, all this is artificial, ain't none of this real. It creates a real terrible odor. The next thing is they shoot another chemical in there to filter out the first chemical that got the oil out of the seed but caused the terrible smell. So they use a second chemical to clean that up. All right, now it doesn't have a terrible smell. You got all this oil, but the chemical is in there, the second chemical. So what they do, they use a third chemical to filter out the second chemical that got the smell out after they got the oil out with the first chemical. So the third chemical filtered the second chemical out. Then they bottled it and sold it. I stopped talking to give you a moment to think about what I just said. The third chemical filtered the second chemical out. And then they bottled it and sold it. What am I giving you a moment to think about? That third chemical that's still in that bottle with all that genetically modified oil that you sucking up and using and frying and sucking down every day. Chemicals. Chemicals. That negatively affect your body. And now you understand how you can watch your brothers and sisters get shot down in the street like dogs, get beat to no end. I saw that video of this sister on her back on the ground and the cop was straddled over her, punching her like he was punching a demon in the hell. Man, that probably would have been the day, you know, and so, but nobody did nothing. You know, the car was swishing by on the highway. You know, them people saw that. And then, you know, what makes it so terrible, it's always somebody filming this stuff. And you don't think for a moment to put the daggone camera down, get over there and help your sister. At a certain point, you're supposed to cast all that stuff to the wind and go over there and help that woman. But you know what? You didn't do it. Why? Because you're scared. You're scared. All that stuff they done said and did to us as a people over the years that put so much fear in the black people, you would stand there and watch your mama get the shit beat out of her and won't even try to dive in and goddamn go for a Hail Mary. You know, at least like take somebody out on the way out. Okay, if you're gonna leave, take somebody. But you can't let them do your mama like that. God damn, what motivates you? But you know, They come and say, "Oh, are you teaching hate?" I ain't teaching hate. I'm teaching goddamn self-protection against an evil ass bandit that we see doing all this shit. See, it's okay long as he whooping your ass, but when you stand up and protect yourself, oh, it's a problem. You violent. You an angry black man. See them bandits. See, you gotta understand a punk, bitch ass individual. You know what I'm saying? See, as long as they got the gun and shooting you, it's all good. Ain't no problem with that. But soon as you get the gun and start blasting their ass, oh, he's a killer. He's a thug. He's a terrorist. He's a radical. Or he got a drug dealer and all kind of wacky stuff they come up with and be talking about you because you stood up and protected yourself and defended yourself. You know what I'm saying? As long as you roll it over and let them do what they do, ain't nothing wrong with that. But look, stop doing the same thing that haven't brought us the change we want. See, you done made me get off my canola oil. So anyway, that canola oil is being made out of genetically modified organism that's modified again to produce a lot of oil. And remember, the first chemical got the oil out, but it created a bad smell. The second chemical got the first chemical out that created a bad smell, and they took the third chemical and filtered the second chemical out, and they bottled it, and that's what you're drinking. Chemicals. Now here's the thing. See, they'll tell you something like this, but that particular chemical is not harmful to the body. That's the statement they use, the general statement. It's not harmful for the body. Okay, now, what is your definition of harmful? You see how you have to think through this? They say it's not harmful for the body. Okay, what is the definition of harmful to the body? It don't cause you to go blind. That's one definition that you can say, okay, well, that chemical they using that they bottling up in there is not harmful to the point where it don't make you go blind. It's all okay, I ain't gonna go blind. But on the other hand, it reduces the electrical current in your body. The electricity that's flowing through your nervous system, it reduces that energy. And the largest amount of electricity gathered in one spot in your body is the brain. That's why the old folks back in the day used to say, when it get cold, make sure you keep your head warm and your feet, because your brain have more nerve endings up there, and the bottom of your feet, each foot have 72,000 nerve endings. 72,000 nerve endings in your left foot, 72,000 nerve endings in your right foot. Together, you got 144,000 nerve endings in your feet, which you can touch your feet and you touch every single point on your body through the feet. The head is just as powerful because you got the brain up there with all of that activity going on. Well, some of these food items that you are consuming causes that electricity to be reduced, that electrical activity, and your thoughts are the electrical activity taking place in your brain. So as you eat this shit that they got out there, like I said, I hate to curse, but if you eat this shit that they got out there for you, it really causes your brain to slow down, and it could say, it's like you see stuff, but you don't see it. Because if you saw another man beating the shit out of your wife or your mother or your children, what would you do? What would you do? You're gonna not go out there and do what you're supposed to do as a father, husband, or son, but you're gonna call the police and let the court system handle it, and then 2, 3, 4, 5 years later, the dude that did it is still walking around, and then when they finally get to court, they say a mistrial. because all them heathens was in cahoots together. Now, it just doesn't happen to you. Remember that dude in the movie in the knife? This nigga said, okay, I know what to do about this. Cut that damn head off. And that solved the problem, called street justice. But are we that afraid? Really? We're that afraid? Damn. So we don't have no more rebels no more. We don't have no more soldiers. We got a lot of talkers. Talk strong, just like the brother said. Folks say stuff on the internet they would never say to your face. They'll tell you, say things to you on the internet, but they'll never say it to your face. That's cowards. That's cowards. It's like 50 Cent. I would listen to him. You know, I really have a lot of respect for that young brother. 50 Cent, you know, was being interviewed about, I think it was Oprah Winfrey. I think it was her. I don't think they too cool. But anyway, I think back in the day, it might have been, I think it was Oprah. But anyway, he was being interviewed and he was being asked about being shot the 9 times. And he explained it, you know, in the movie or the picture or whatever, you know, shows him walking down the street and somebody roll up and shoot him. But he actually was in the back seat of a car and they shot into the car. And he's like, he showed his hand. He said one bullet went in the hand, the other this, that, and all that. He said he was able to live through it. They got him to the hospital and he lived. And so the question came up about the guy that shot him. Do you know who shot you? He said, yeah. He said, I know. He said, I knew who shot me about, 15 minutes after, it was like no time after it happened, he knew who shot him. And then the conversation went on a little bit further, and then the question came up, where's the guy? Do you know where he at? He said, no, he dead. He already dead. You know, in 50, it seemed like he be having that little smile on his face. You know, he was just calm. He said, no, I know exactly who shot me. Yeah. And then they talking a little bit more, chopping it up, da-da-da. Then they asked the guy, well, you know where the guy at? She said, oh, he already dead. You see what I'm saying? And that was that. See what I'm saying? So how you gonna allow a dude that do all this shit to you to just walk around and be alive and he not being put in the ground? Because you scared. You scared. I tell you one thing that's going on with black people and black women in America. Y'all, they call themselves bad bitches and what they call themselves, black girl rock, black girl power, bad bitch, boss bitch, you know, broke nigga don't need no pee and all this kind of stuff. You know why? One reason I feel is because they don't see strong brothers regulating, doing stuff, you know, protecting them. So it's like they feel like they're on their own because, you know, all kind of shit happened to them and you don't hear about nothing going back up on the guy that did something. 50 said, no, he already did. Didn't nobody know that because didn't nobody know how to do whatever. But 50 in knowing who it is, like you can't allow nobody to do that to you. Like if you run in the streets and you know, you doing your thing in the street, you can't get shot and you wind up living through it and the dude that shot you stays alive for whatever reason. You know, it's like certain words you say in the street you can't come back from. Certain things you do in the street, you got to pay for it. That's just where the code, that's the order. That's what makes it what it is. You can't shoot nobody and they wind up living through the shooting and you stay alive. You supposed to already know your day coming. Somebody gonna get you. You know, and how much do it cost to pop somebody? $4,000-$5,000? You know, if you ain't no high value target. You know, so that's just the code the way it goes. You know, the brother said, oh, he already dead. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's so cool, you know, because he knew. You know what I'm saying? So it's like my thing is, I can't see my family get their ass whooped and I don't do nothing. Y'all should see that video I did with the sister Marlell when this devil, you know, raped my daughter, one of my daughters. You should see that video of me explaining what I did. And you know something, when that information came out, how I beat up the guy that raped my daughter, and I beat the guy's father up. The detective asked me, "Damn, you you beat the father up? You know, like the detective talked with the guy. Then the detective called me in the office. He said, "Listen, he told me that you you hit his father too." I said, "He did? What did he say?" He said that you hit his father. I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Did you? Is he lying?" I said, "No, he's not lying, but he's not telling you the story right." He said, "What do you mean?" "I tried to beat his motherfucking ass. That's what I did." And the detective said, but what did the father do to you?" I said, "He birthed that motherfucker in the world and he raised him to be the son bitch that he is. And I tried to beat his damn daddy through the floor." He didn't tell you that right. The detective said, "I got daughters. That's not gonna go in the file. That's just between me and you." He said, "I got daughters." You see how it is, man to man? See, these Israelis, they not as sedated as American people are. These jokers will fight, you know. And so the detective, he's like, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "He didn't tell it right. Put that in there." I tapped on the thing. I said, "Put that in there. I tried to beat his motherfucking ass, him and his daddy, for birthing that joker and raising him to be the bandit that he is. I tried to take him out." The detective said, "I got daughters." He said, "That won't get in the report." He folded it up and we left. So you see, for women to feel secure, security in a woman is not nothing that you can go buy off the shelf, 3 for $10 and give it to her. Security is not a strong conversation, hollering and screaming and waving your fist and talking about getting bucked and talking about pulling up on somebody. That ain't security. Security is gained in a woman's mind through the actions of her man. It's what you do, not what you say, what you do. And so if you're not doing the thing, she ain't gonna feel secure in you like that. You all talk. But my woman at the time, when I found out who, shit, I booted up and walked and went up there and kicked that door in. Damn right, buddy. Yeah, buddy. And you know what was cool is my ex-wife was with me too. She was riding with me too. Cause all you need to do is do something to that sister children and your ass got a war on your hand. Yes, you do, buddy. If you want to piss a sister off, do something to them children. You ain't got to bother her. Go over there and mess with them children and see what you get. Shit. If I don't know nothing that, I know better than that. Boy, when I'm rolling with a sister and she got some children, they gonna get served up. I ain't coming through the door, be no children ass or trying to be the great father. I ain't gonna do nothing. Let them children be. You know why? Because they used to being with just their mama and not you. Let them just, you go around and you sit down in the living room on the couch, the same place. You don't move. You don't go in her bedroom. If she asks you to come in the kitchen, go in there and sit down. She won't eat, but get back on that couch and you stay there. You watch your little TV and then eventually get up and leave. Every single time you go by her house, that's what you do. If the children say something to you, "Hey, how you doing?" Be friendly and leave them alone. And they're going to be doing all kind of wacky stuff because they children. You coming in here to see their mama and they old enough to know that you ain't their daddy and you know they ain't their daddy. They know you ain't their daddy. Everybody know you ain't their daddy. So who is this guy? And so children, they just playing with you, making all kind of faces behind their mama back, playing with you, all that kind of stuff. Don't you do nothing. They just children. Leave them alone. And you go up in there several weeks like that, talk with the sister, y'all having fun, yada, 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 thither. And then after a few weeks of you not doing them, but just being there in that one spot, what is happening is your spirit is fusing with theirs, and they're now becoming comfortable with you there. All right? You got one little bit of space to function in, sitting right there on that couch. That's you for a while. And then you actually feel them getting comfortable with you because you'll get comfortable with them. So when that happens, this is what you do. This is how you deal with them children. You all right? Don't do nothing. Don't go to. Once you feel that kind of comfort kick in, you're going to feel it in yourself, you're going to feel it in the children, and you're going to feel it in the sister. This is what you do. All right? Let that marinate a week or two. You're going by, y'all sitting, talking, chilling. The children, they talking, everybody figure. Then one day you pop up in that mug with a big old damn container of Neapolitan ice cream, chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry, and give it to the children. Oh, like that. What? You know, you go in there, you got a little bag, and you say, I brought this for the children. I brought this for the children. Boy, you know what? They're going to be like, what? Yes, Laka? All right. Okay, Aki. I was asking the driver, does he have fuel? A driver rolled up. So he, you know, they're going to be like, what? They're going to stop. I don't care if they flying through the air. You pull out the ice cream, them children going to stop, hit pause. What? They're going to sit down, and then the mother may let them eat it just to themselves, or she may give it to them later after dinner, whatever. But they need to see it coming from you. After all these weeks, you ain't said nothing to them. You ain't bothered them. You sat on that couch, and you got comfortable with them. They got comfortable with you. The sister got comfortable with you. Then you come through the door with that big old container of ice cream, chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. Why? Because you don't know if they like chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry. Generally, chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry, that's going to cover it, right? Man, and if you come and don't show up one week, them children going to be asking, Mama, where the Nubian king? Mama, what you do to it? You know how I know to tell you that? That happened to me and my sister. When my father passed, my mother didn't date for years, right? And so when she finally started dating, it was this brother named Frank. That's exactly how Frank did us. You know what that's called? That's called the process of endearment. Frank was a master. He did it just like that. Just like what I told you, that's exactly what Frank did. See, I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I'm just passing on the wisdom of the elders that did it, and it worked, and I saw it work. So now I'm telling you, because I worked it. You know what I'm saying? I worked it. I dated sisters just like that, you know, had children, and I ain't they're going, I don't care what kind of dumb madness they did. I didn't say nothing to them. I sat there, boom, boom, boom. You know, sister, she had 3 daughters. That one daughter 19, one about 15, 16, and another one about 12. I ain't do nothing. Go by the house, sat there, chopped it up. You know what I'm saying? The sister, she was doing the best she can, and they had cut her hours down at work, and all the bills behind. And so, you know, me being grown up in the South like that, be the man. You know, don't talk it, be it. Like they say, be about it. So, you know, me and the sister, we got a good rhythm, and I'm coming in, she welcoming me, you know, now I'm meeting the children, yada, yada, yada. So do that 2 or 3 times. Then like 3rd or 4th trip, I go by, you know, I'm sitting down. I said, baby, bring me all the bills. She stopped. She went, what? She said, what? It was so funny, man. It's like I turned her. I said, bring me all your bills. All the bills you got, bring them to me. She stopped. She said, are you serious? Okay, don't bring them to me. No. I'm good. So she comes back with all these colored piece of paper, pink, blue, pass through, cut off notice. So you know, I had to sit there. Oh God, I had to be the man. I said, oh shit, wow. And so we sat down at the dining room table. She sat next to me, and I went to each one, pulled out my credit card, and I paid them all. They gave me the number, paid in full. You know, that sister, as I was sitting there next to her, she laid her head on my shoulder and was holding my arm. and watching me, go through them bills, and a couple of people I called and talked to and got it done. And then I felt something warm running down my arm, like, what the hell? So when I looked at her, I said, baby, you all right? She raised her head. Sister was nothing but tears, man. She said, baby, you my angel, you my savior. She said, I was slipping off the slide and I got these babies and I just didn't know what to do. She said, I won't tell you, you are my angel, you my savior. And her eye was so full of water, man. She was crying. The quiet kind of tears. She wasn't, it was just, I said, well, why are you crying, baby? She said, because I am completely overwhelmed with you. I have never in my life experienced love like this. I said, well, sweetheart, I'm that brother. Out of 10,000, you'll find that one brother like no other. I am him. I said, I just feel like this is the right thing to do. If you, my woman, and we talk about a relationship, the way I was born and raised up, I was taught that's what you do. The man handle that business. The man work, take care of the family, and the sister, she the homemaker, she worked with the brother, take care of the family. Everybody had their roles and responsibilities. Didn't nobody bleed over and cross over to each other. We all worked together. I had my responsibility. I carried it strong. She had her responsibility. She carried it strong. And that was it. But today, all that is out of whack, man. Our people, I see these incredible situations going on between the brothers and sisters, and my heart go out because it don't have to be like that. I think a lot of these sisters are afraid. I think they just scared, when they be talking about the bad bitch and the boss bitch and strong black woman. I think a lot of that is rooted in fear. I could be wrong, but they see what's happening to us. They're not stupid, nor are they blind. They see the majority of them prisons filled with brothers. All right. They see them brothers and some sister getting shot down in the street. They see that. And in their minds, they like, well, damn, if our men could be dealt like that, then what's for me? Who's for me? Who's to protect me? And so sometimes, it kind of come out bitter. Like, what I need, for bad bitch, boss bitch, and I'm doing this in my career. Girl, sister doing it for themselves because they feel like they have to, because they don't see the brothers like being portrayed in that positive light. I know that there are plenty great brothers that's doing it, but plenty great brothers get absolutely zero press time. No cameras on us, no articles written about us, no statement about plenty good brothers. So we are null and void. I was on a talk show a few days ago, and this brother Jay, forgot his last name, he made a statement I'll never forget. This is one of the most profound statements I've heard someone say about brothers and sisters in years. This brother sit there and he said, the white man, all he do is show us our failures. All the white men do is show us our defeats and negativity about us. And when you constantly bombard a people with that type of negative information, failures all the time, then it begins to warp your sense of love and it distorts you and it busts your self-esteem. Man, I listened to that brother, I'm like, Shazam, he 100,000% right. Because it goes even into history, right? If you are taught as children that your family came to this country as slaves, then what type of psychological self-esteem are you setting those young babies up? Oh, you came as a slave, you ain't nothing. You was on the bottom of a boat. My parents enslaved your parents. Y'all ain't nothing. You see the psychological degradation of that? And that's why the brother Umar Johnson is being attacked so bad, because he's saying his school, he don't want white people teaching. He want just Nubian people, melanated people. And now you ain't heard white people say nothing about that, because so many black people are so busy beating the brother up because of that. Because they think that's wrong. But then when a white person say they want all white people in school, you don't hear no niggas you don't hear no brothers and sisters out there screaming bloody murder because the white man say this is white only. The restaurant, throw black folks out left and right. No blacks allowed. Do you hear a whole bunch of black folks out there protesting, beating them, making all that kind of crazy noise? Nope. Here and there you make the Asians. The Asians beat your sisters in the street, beat them up in. Do you hear? No. The one brother, I think his name, Brother Muhammad, that went in and to defend and fight for the sisters' right. You know, them sisters told that brother, leave them people alone. They ain't doing nothing, but they just got through beating the sister down like she's a dog. And then the other sister walking right on up in there. You understand? So, anyway, you got to stop doing the same thing over and over again, expecting something to change. And I know that a lot of our sisters are reacting because they're afraid. They feel naked. They feel unprotected. They don't have a man. And they confused, and they have been confused as about what is a man and what is a man supposed to be like. And then my brothers, the same thing. My brothers have not gotten the type teaching that I've gotten as a young man as to how to be a man, the things that men do. It's like you're thrown out there in the midst of the wolves, and the music and entertainer and sports figures be your educators as to what you're supposed to do. It's a wild, wild world, and it ain't nice. If you don't have nobody that's talking to you, trying to guide you and you know, tell you how to do, it's tough. It's tough. And then with our people, do you hear these other nations, these other races of people going through stuff like this? If they are, they sure keeping it quiet, man, because the damn internet is full of terrible things about Nubian people. You see what I'm saying? Maybe I just need to type in Google white people bad experience. Maybe that'll come up with something. Oh, good googly boo. Man, let me get out of here and go home. Y'all done heard enough from me. You know, I need to go and do something. But anyway, I enjoyed talking to you. I hope that I inspired some positive thought in you. And, you know, again, I do this, say these things because I love you. That's all. And I hope that you understand that canola oil, you go there in Walmart and you look around. You read those ingredients. You should get in the habit of reading the ingredients, see exactly what you're eating. And it's going to say hydrogenated and partially hydrogenated canola oil. And for your homework, I want, for those that are still listening, I want you to go and find out what is hydrogenated oil and what's partially hydrogenated oil. Look up the word hydrogenation and see if that's something that you should be eating, putting in your body. But in Walmart, in the food section, you can go and grab just about anything. It's going to have that canola oil in it. And that's the oil made from the rapeseed, genetically modified organism that they modify it. One chemical released the oil, create a bad smell. Second chemical cleaned the first chemical out that made the bad smell that released the oil. Third chemical cleaned the second chemical out, and they sell it to you, but they say it's not harmful to the body. And now they're touting canola oil as the queen of all oils. Can you imagine that? So back in school, I used to use the canola oil to lubricate the sewing machines. I was real good mechanic, and I used to go and repair the sewing machine in the sewing class. And that's what I used to lubricate the sewing machines with, canola oil. Now you roll the clock 30, 40 years later, and people are eating canola oil and being told it's the best oil out. I talk to you because I love you. Love you from the basement of my heart all the way up to the attic of my mind. I love you 24/7. That means I love you all the time. Shalom.